My name is Shanique Lewis, and welcome to my community treasure hunt. Silver Spring, Maryland is a community near and dear to my heart, not only because I love visiting, but because I used to live here 10 years ago. So sit back and relax as I take you on a ride through my favorite community of Silver Spring, Maryland. The total population of Silver Spring is 77,726. The Latino holds 19,446,000. The graphs above are looking at the growth in the Hispanic population. The next one will be looking at the enrollment in the Maryland public schools by race and ethnicity. If you look, it doesn't say Silver Spring. What it will say is Montgomery County. Then you're looking at the family characteristics, the population breakdown throughout. The community is comprised of a shared identity by population. The shared identity is usually comprised of culture, race, nationality, or religious affiliation. It can also be defined by geographic location or proximity to a prominent landmark like downtown. The community of Silver Spring, Maryland is a beautiful and diverse place to live and to visit. Interesting fact, in 1840, Francis Preston Blair and his daughter Elizabeth discovered the spring, which is how Silver Spring got part of its name. The word silver came from the sparkling flakes of mica in the water to make it appear to be silver. Silver Spring, Maryland is an amazing place to be. Silver Spring is 7 miles north of Washington, D.C. The most popular area of Silver Spring is downtown Silver Spring. So countries, it is hard to do. As you can see in this clip, a lot of people like to entertain the people in the community of Silver Spring. Watch here. This area has been through major changes throughout the years. Downtown consists of a mall, movie theater, and the Fillmore, which is a concert hall and numerous restaurants. Silver Spring is the center of major counties in Maryland, which is very convenient for residents in all the areas. From the 2010 census, Silver Spring has 71,452 residents. Race is broken down in the area as such: white 45%, black 27%, Asian 7%, and the Latino Hispanic community is 26%. The average cost of living in this community is 19% higher than the Maryland average and is 37% higher than the national average. To calculate the cost of living, different factors are weighed in. They include housing, groceries, utilities, transportation, and the health care. So, with that being said, the cost of living is $137.50. Silver Spring, Maryland's income per capita is $38,926. That price includes adults and children. The median household income is $72,289. Picture break. This is me walking around, well, taking pictures of one of the local parks in one of our neighborhoods in the Latino community. Normally, this park is filled with kids running around, playing at the park, but today, due to the cold weather, it wasn't any people outside. As I walk around the community, I was able to talk to several people and was able to observe a lot. A lot of the apartment neighborhoods that looked old and worn out on the outside, but they still looked like they were kept up by management. There was a lot of road work being done outside during the hours of 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. The area has a lot of job opportunities. Most people in the area are very friendly and kind and people oriented, especially in downtown Silver Spring. The biggest issue in the community is the number of people that hang out outside the train station. Traffic around 5 p.m. is also pretty bad. Coming from Silver Spring to the Beltway is normally a 10-minute drive, but with traffic around 5 o'clock, you can easily hit a 30-minute commute. The issue with metro trains has a lot of issues also. a lot of technical issues that sometimes causes trains to be single tracked. And single tracked is when a train can only travel in one direction for a certain amount of time on that train. As you can see here, the busy streets of downtown Silver Spring or Silver Spring is very busy. There's no matter what time of the day, cold or the weather, cold or hot, you always see people outside. This is one of the main busy streets of the Latino community. In the state of Maryland, Latinos are better educated and have a higher income than other states. But the income and educational levels for Latinos are lower compared to the racial ethnic groups like whites and Asians. The median household income for Hispanics is $5,093. Latinos that may seek help in the community are immigrants, which is the main population of Latinos in Silver Spring. Here are some local food places that are provided by the Latin community. Also, here's the view of the community, me walking around, and the busy streets and the dry cleaning. There are many churches in Silver Spring. Here's one church here. I'm not 100% sure if this is by the Latino community, but there's a lot of churches around. And here's a cab, which is one of the main ways to get around if you do not take the metro. This was one of the neighborhoods that I was gratefully able to walk around. The community was very quiet. The neighborhood was extremely clean. There wasn't many activity going on outside due to the cold weather, but this was one of the main streets of the neighborhood that I was able to walk on and to observe what was going on in the area. In this particular neighborhood, there was not any public transportation, bus stops. The closest bus stop was up the street the other way that I was walking towards the top of the road. But going deep into the neighborhood, it looks like the most way that you could get around was to get Uber or walk to the bus stop. This is one of many food trucks that I was able to see around the community of Silver Spring. And right here is a bus that takes you from your church to your home. Here's a friend that I had talked to one of the community members in the community. Now let's dive into the client services. In public schools, ESOL, which helps kids improve their English language, is provided for students who meet the certain criteria. This is determined by results of a diagnostic test. If a student is eligible for ESOL services, the parent or guardian receives a notification letter describing the types of ESOL services available to the student and a permission slip for students to receive the recommended services. Those children with a variety of immigration backgrounds participate in K through 12 public education in the United States. Not all children enter school with the same needs. The General Assembly approved $2 million in state funding for several capital projects benefiting Hispanic communities across the state, including those in Hyattsville, Riverdale, Rockville, Silver Spring, and Tacoma Park. State funding will be used to expand early education programs for children, health services for adults, and advocacy and employment opportunities. There are many social service agencies that provide help for the Latino community. One being that I was able to look at was CASA. CASA helps low income and immigrants with different services. I was able to talk to Erica Hernandez, who is the communication specialist, and the building was easy to find. I had no issues at all. The mission of the agency was to provide the lives of low-income immigrant communities to promote equal treatment and full access to resources and opportunities for low-income Hispanics and their families. Determining on the services that they are receiving and on the budget, some of the services are free and others have a small fee. The center will provide a variety of services to the state's immigrants community and will be within walking distance of 2,000 households. One other social services agency that I looked at was Central Familia Child Care and Training Center in Silver Spring, a high quality child care center to serve the Hispanic immigrant families in Silver Spring area. Central Familia is a community based nonprofit organization that develops economic and educational opportunities for low income women and children living in the Hispanic and other immigrant communities. The organization addresses early child care and education as a primary needs of breaking the cycle of intergenerational poverty. All the services that I looked up for my community treasure hunt paper, like A Wider Circle and Habitat of Humanity, have bilingual departments which targets the Latino community. The Metro bus and train are two main ways besides driving or taking an Uber to get to these services, all of which were easy to navigate with public transportation. All the services that I was able to contact were very helpful in telling me how to get to their destination. Now I can totally see why I love the area of downtown Silver Spring. I've never had an issue with it, and I see all the resources that are provided for the Latino community and the community in general. I love walking around, even though it was cold and no, it was freezing. I was still able to interact with a lot of people that were willing to talk to me. I've learned so much from more than what I didn't know before, and I would love for you guys to be able to look at downtown Silver Spring as one of your areas if you want to broaden your horizon in the social work field.